Hey guys, welcome back to the Social Distance Podcast. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but we have a good show lined up where we talk about a whole bunch of stuff that you guys would love. We talk about weather. We talk about how to dress for the weather.
Just be honest with them. Just be honest with them right now and tell them what we talk about. And just
like, share, subscribe.
No, stop. I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to interrupt you. I don't like interrupting your intros. Honestly, I don't like interrupting your intros, but we just got to be honest with them. We punish people for a long time about how to dress in Andorra. We tell them about the difference between feels like and is in the temperature gauge, and we talk about dogs on there. So let's just not get their hopes up by saying we've got a great show. Let's just lower them, under promise, over deliver.
Like, share, subscribe.
I'm not prepared for this.
This is going to be a good one. I can sense it.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And we're fucking G.
Are we?
Ah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, you can't impeach somebody that's doing a great job.
From Sachin Tendulkar.
Bruce Gigolo.
Gigolo.
George Bennett, you deserve this, big fella.
What's that salute?
He's put the finger straight through the one ply.
We try and create a comfortable environment. There's no bullshit.
There's just so many of them, aren't there, though? They just don't like it.
Nelson, be proud. Yeah, baby.
Hey guys, happy Anzac Day. Or do you say happy Anzac Day?
I don't think you say it. It's not like Christmas. It's not
I know,
Easter.
but well, how do you like?
I think you just go
Anzac
Day.
Yeah.
Father's Day.
Yeah.
I'm actually reading. I'm reading a book right now about Charles Upham. Do you know the
Who?
2-time Victorian Cross winner? Seems strange to win, actually, when you think about it. Like, a winner also doesn't seem like a fitting title.
Recipient.
Yeah.
Is it,
Man, what a guy. Holy shit.
What did he do? What was
Okay, so he's on Crete, right? This is actually where my grandma's from, Crete. So, little island off Greece. And I'm basically into the first night of his adventure, and already he's just running around chucking handfuls of grenades at German machine gun nests, and seems to have taken about, I don't know, 30 gun turrets in its only night one. So he seems like a bit of a mad dog. I'm sort of curious to see where he goes from here, but holy shit, it's pretty scary stuff when you start thinking about it. But yeah, Anzac Day.
Do you go to Dawn Parade, Jonesy? Obviously, George and I didn't. We're over on the other side of the world, but you go, no excuses.
No, well, I went up to the Grove with the boys and said, are we going to go to dawn service? And then one of them was like, I don't think we're allowed to. I think COVID restrictions. It was a bit like when we try and sort things out on WhatsApp. No one actually knew what was going on, and then the decision was, no, we didn't go.
Well, in New Zealand, they were all go. But this time last year, there was full lockdown. Was like, obviously, as we all know, I don't know if you guys know, but there's a pandemic, and there was a lockdown around the world this time last year.
Bullshit.
In New Zealand, obviously the dawn services were cancelled, so everybody did their own dawn services. So everybody stood at the end of their driveway, and like all across the country. It was pretty cool. And I think you put like a big poppy on your fence, and it was actually quite cool, I reckon.
No, we didn't do anything this year. I remember one year we went to the Grove, and we went to a dawn service like at Port Arlington. And when we rolled up, this old guy was there, and he had the Bundy out. It must be tradition, like if you go full on, you have a bit of rum in your coffee or whatever. And I was like, yeah, all right, fuck it. And it was actually quite nice. Like, it was a shot of Bundy in the big pot of coffee. Yeah, like it was beautiful.
Like an Irish coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what they call an Anzac coffee, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be. But yeah,
Irish coffee. Isn't Irish coffee whiskey with coffee?
I think so. Yeah, that's the only way. How's it all going, Bennett? When are you heading off to the Giro, or what are you doing? You're on a camp.
What are we? It was today, Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Father's Day.
Oh, yeah. 2 weeks. It's getting close. I'm up on top of a volcano still. I'm still in Tenerife.
Yeah. How's it all going?
Yeah. you don't do much up here. It's quite good. I actually needed it because, like, at home you just like, Jules will know this. You know when you just like wanting to lock down and just not do anything. You want to be the biggest piece of shit you can be by just riding your bike and not doing anything else. And like at home, I don't have that ability. Like I'll see, like, I'll go home and I'll see like Caitlin will start cooking dinner and I'll be like, I've done nothing all day. I've just ridden my bike and sat down and she's been working all day. So I'll end up like cooking dinner and cleaning, just doing stuff.
Fuck you. What a hard life, eh? Oh, you've got a hard life.
I don't know how this sounds, right? But when you've done like 6 hours on the bike and you've got another 6 hours the next day and you just pinned, just standing up for 45 minutes. So what I was doing, I was getting to the point where I was like rolling the chair into the kitchen and just sitting down on like the kitchen table chair, just chopping onions.
Do you not reckon like there's an argument for like conditioning your legs a little bit more? So like doing more walking or doing some running or like conditioning to the point where they can actually handle standing up in the kitchen?
Or just hardening the fuck up, I think we're getting at.
I had this discussion the other day with somebody with about mental toughness. And we were talking about was it with you I had this conversation? No, it wasn't. Anyway, I was we were talking about, actually, you know who we were talking about? We're talking about ultra runners, and it was this one of the girls Caitlin runs with, or I guess against, but this girl's awesome. I think she's the best in the world, or one of the best in the world. And
the New Zealand girl,
Ruth, yeah. And she won Mont Blanc, and she's very, very good. Anyway, I think like she's obviously physically very good, but I think she's just like tough as nails. And one of the things that Caitlin was saying was like, they went to, just out of off comment, was like, she just at a she went to a silent retreat. So 2 weeks, you go there, you're just in a room with just a bed. You're not allowed to speak. You're not allowed to have contact with anyone for 2 weeks. So you just sit there, or I guess you interact. I guess you do daily things like you walk around the garden, or you just meditate and you don't talk or have any contact with the outside world or anything for 2 weeks. And basically, it just sounds like going to jail, but you pay for it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
and in jail, you're allowed to talk, I think.
Yeah, jail allowed to also. Jail sounds like a hell of a time. But
and people shell out good coin for this.
Yeah. I mean, my sister was going to do one, and then I think there was a COVID outbreak, so she couldn't do it or something. It was over. It was in December. She was going to do it, but it got me thinking about the argument of like, I seem to go the other way, right? Where instead of trying to train my mental strength and try and like do all these things, like you hear about like, remember when who's the old bull bike guy that ran Saxo Bank? Bjarne Rees. He he looks like you, Jonesy. Actually, Bjarne Rees.
Compliment.
He looks just like you. That's crazy.
He's a nice looking cat.
Yeah, he's a good looking bloke. Won the Tour de France 5 times or something. But
you won it once. Yeah.
And he won it red hot too.
Yeah. Anyway.
Mr. 60.
Anyway, what
he used to do those camps, the boot camps.
Yeah, but he used to like he used to take his riders out to like the, somewhere in the Arctic Circle or something, and throw them in the water and say, and the whole idea behind, or they walked up Kilimanjaro and stuff, and the whole idea behind it was like, we're gonna make you do something really tough and really hard, so that when you go into a bike race and you're 3 weeks in and you're going up the Stelvio and it's snowing, it seems easy. And
I like that, eh? I like.
Do you subscribe to that theory? See, I'm the other way. See, what I do is I save my bullets. I save all my mental bullets. I make it all cushy, and then, and then we do have like those 5 days in the Giro, which pissing with rain. Right? But you know what, mate? All right, suck it up. 5 days. Just got to do 5 days. I've had a good run until now. Turn the dial to 10, and then get through. But other people do the whole harden your mind up. But if you do the harden your mind up, you get to the third week of the Giro and you're just fucked.
It can go the other way.
Do you know what I do? I have an off season. I have 6 weeks off the bike, treat myself horribly, and then I go and do a 3-day bike trip with Swain Tuft. That's like a boot camp. We did that a few years ago in Andorra, 3 days. We started in Andorra, we went down into Spain, into France, and back into Andorra 3 days. And like myself and Hippie hadn't ridden or all of us actually hadn't ridden for a month or 5 weeks, and it was brutal. Like it was 8 or 9 hour days, and we had to like hike up mountains with our 20-kilo bikes on the back, like with all our sleeping gear and everything. 2.5 hours, like climbing, like hiker bike or whatever they call it.
You're still paying for it. See, you spent so many mental bullets that trip. You're still paying for it now. It's right. They drop on one drop.
Mate,
rain.
don't talk to me about mental bullets. Don't talk to me about. There's one guy here who's had persevere.
You've spent all your mental bullets. I've just had this cushy ride.
Who do you reckon's mentally tougher, you, Bules, or GB? Like, who's
there's a difference.
That's tough.
Different toughness, I reckon.
Yeah. Well,
like mine's a bit more caring, his is a bit more selfish.
Mine's more directed to myself.
Geez, I reckon if you imagine if you went on one of those hikes with Swano, and if he ever got to a point where it looked like he'd gone too far or he cracked, or if he ever started like crying because he was stressed, you would shit yourself. If he ever got to the point, he goes, "Guys, it's too much." Like you'd be like, "We're gonna die.
We're lost.
We're gonna die."
The most scary thing or most annoying thing about Swano on these trips is that whenever you ask him, because there was myself, Swano obviously, Mitch Docker, Luke Durbridge, Michael Hepburn, and none of us knew where we were going, but Swano had done this loop or this version of this loop hundreds of times, but it was so hard for us because George is not conditioned to standing in the kitchen for 45 minutes. Well, none of us conditioned to carrying a bike that weighs 20 kilos on our back up a vertical mountain for 2.5 hours. So we're on the limit, absolute limit. And whenever you'd ask Swano, like, mate, how far to go? He'd never fucking tell you. He'd just be like, oh, it's a ways, dude, still a ways. And we're like, what the fuck does that mean? And then we'd be like hiking. And then eventually on the last day, we got to this hiker bike and we got halfway up and we stopped, regrouped. And Mitch is like, Swano, honestly, man, you have to tell us how far to go because I just need to know. Like, and he's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's a way still. And we're like, fucking tell us. We just croaked.
By the end, were you just hating on him? Like, did Swano's whole persona just change from this, likable, man versus wild type to he's just a dead set asshole?
Nah, you can't do that with Swano's too lovable way.
Yeah,
but it was actually a sweet trip. It was a good trip. I'd love to do that. Swano's back in Canada now, so hopefully the next one might be over there. But we'll have to contend with bears and mountain lions there, but different in Andorra. But definitely the old marmot in Andorra.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It is a worry that when the group leader starts panicking though. Like if you're like just at his mercy and you did see him start sweating, going, oh, fuck, like texting under his shoulder, like looking for service and stuff. Why didn't you service, Swano?
Yeah, or pulling out the compass, going like and tapping it, like as if that'll be shit.
Sure enough, like just sending smoke up into the air. We're like, what are you lighting a fire in the middle of nowhere? A bit of visible smoke.
Anyone got any bars on their phone? I've got none. Be like Black Witch.
Speaking of mental bullets, actually, just while we're tiptoeing around this, I just we got a Swan year up here. I was having a crazy conversation about him about how to spend your mental bullets as a child. He was a young. I don't know, he must be 60 now, but he was telling me about when he was a boy growing up in Belgium and just how like nuts they are for riding and the pressure that it is, the pressure that's on a young kid growing up there. And he used to tell me what his old man used to do because his old man wanted nothing more than for him to be a pro cyclist, and he was just like the epitome of like a pushy parent, and he would be on the sidelines screaming at him and stuff. And what he used to do is make him go training, and he would the day before he'd go for a big ride or something, he'd say, okay, tomorrow you've got to ride from our house all the way across, across Flanders, you're going up to Murderhoy, you're going all the way, 200 k's. And he didn't believe that his son would do it, which the son was our Swan year now, so this is 40 years ago. And so what he said was go buy these postcards from the from the post office and give them to his kid and say, all right, mate, you have to prove that you rode all the way over there. When you get there, you have to post this stamp. You have to post this postcard to me, so that he knew that he'd ridden all the way to like Murdahui. And so this poor kid just hated it. He would just start riding, get all the way across Belgium, and hated it by the end. And then he started like learning new tricks because within Speedos came in, and he could just look at the cycle computer. So he ended up getting this girlfriend and just go out with his mate, hook his cycle computer up to his mate's bike. His mate would go riding, and he'd just go pest around at his girlfriend's house for a couple of hours, come home, grab the computer, and then go back and show his old man.
Oh man, I tell you, 200k, riding 200k in the rain and the snow or whatever, I can do that. But you asked me to stand in a fucking post office at the end of that. I can't stand in a post office on the best of days. That place cracks me. You need some serious mental bullets to get through the post office.
That's the mental bullets.
The post system in Spain is nothing but frustrating.
Yeah, that'll break you. He told me this other great story about how he was at a race and and it'd always be pretty good. And then he said one day a group of 25 went up the road and he missed the group, and he didn't really care. He said he wasn't even a competitive guy. He didn't care if he won or whatever. His old man was obviously super competitive. So he finishes the race, 25 guys got up the road, he's not in there. And he's at the end, he's looking for his old man. And one of the other parents comes up to him and goes, "Oh, here's a jacket. Your dad left. He said because you didn't make the front group, you have to ride home."
Oh, jeez.
Probably a 15-year-old.
And there's the postcard.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he's still working in cycling and he didn't just leave it all completely, because he gets shivers every time you get these flashbacks.
Speaking of pushy parents, I actually finally got around to watching the Tiger Woods documentary the other night. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Nah.
It's actually made me revisit Legend or Bellend. I can't remember which way I voted actually when we did him on Legend or Bellend.
I think we all voted Legend because
well, then I don't change my vote after watching it. He's still a legend. But it's pretty good doco. You should watch it, GB. It's on HBO. 2-part series.
I'm caught up in a football documentary at the moment. Sunderland till I die.
Oh, that's good. I've only seen the start of it.
Mate.
But how's the blow up over that Super League this week? That was huge.
But fucking money hungry pricks, eh?
Yeah.
Ultimately, you could argue that a breakaway league could work in some sports. Football is not one of them.
I don't know.
They already have everything they need. They already have their TV rights. They already have their merchandise, their ticket sales. They're already making money from everything a breakaway league would bring to a club.
But
we need a
Barca,
breakaway league.
Yeah.
Take Barca for example. They're in debt almost $1 billion. I heard.
Yeah.
But that's what I don't understand. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Who's floating that? And how do they get to that?
Once it gets to 20 mil, they go, all right, mate.
Yeah, you might need to start paying that back.
But because Barcelona doesn't have an owner, they're owned by the fans, the people.
Really?
So,
is it
they're effectively a crowdfunder. They're the only club. That's why it says more than a club or whatever on the stadium, because they're the only club. I think they're the only club in the world that's owned by the fans. So yeah, all their money comes from obviously some private sponsors, Qatar Foundation or whatever, and but yeah, they're owned by ticket holders. Season passes, merchandise, all that stuff's what funds the club. They don't actually have an owner say, Arsenal has that Yank, whatever his name is, Josh or some shit. He owns them. Not Barca. We could own them.
Merchandise is obviously quite a lucrative business because I see that Jonesy has a new cap.
How good. It arrived in the box the other day. It was even a sticker on. Oh, actually, I better not give my address out. So, at the social distance sticker on the works. And then I thought, oh, you beauty. And then I'm like, hang on, where's my fucking hoodie in that? That hasn't arrived. So there's
are we promoting? Let's hype this up a bit. All right, drum roll. Jonesy, what's on your head, mate? What's on your head?
It's the official test cap for the Social Distance Podcast. I rate it, except we've got issues. I've got random lines on mine. I don't even know what's going on here. This makes sense. This is all right, but this thing in the middle, it's like a bandaged crankski.
That middle line there is actually that's you know, I hate to blame Caitlin for anything because she's actually she's the only one who's got any buoyancy in this group, but that's her fault.
What is that?
That was the original design when we tried to give Jonesy that little forehead crack.
Oh, this line here.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like a centimetre higher before?
And then we were like,
what's happened?
So what's happened there is Printful's mistake because then the mask, which is supposed to be considered to be lower, has grown like 3 or 4 lines, and now his whole face just looks like it's just a circle with all these lines.
It looks like someone cut their thumb and has bandaged it up, and put some headphones on it. Yeah. Anyway, the merch should be ready soon.
Oh, that's just a teaser for you.
Yeah, but the cap actually is very comfortable. So
what did that cost? What did that cost you, Jonesy? That hat?
Can't remember. 15, 20 bucks or something. Jeez, perfect. Yeah, no, that's comfy. Quality's great.
World-class sporting team. We sell enough merch.
Yeah.
Speaking of outrageous sporting events and things in New Zealand, did you guys see the latest controversy in dog racing?
Oh yeah, the dog owner was feeding the dog meth. Tested positive for meth.
What? So what I want to know, this has got a lot of questions around that.
Yeah.
So in New Zealand dog owner. I mean, one, what happened to the dog? Like, geez. 2, who was doing random drug tests that involve meth? You know what I mean? Like, so someone obviously had their suspicions, like these dogs could be on meth. So enough that this dog was behaving so wildly that they went, oh, I reckon that dog's on meth. And 3, how do you take a piss sample from a dog?
Well, actually, yeah, they might do like a swab or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
know. But dog racing's had a few issues.
Maybe blood.
So dog racing was banned in New South Wales, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago because of live baiting. So when they used to train the greyhounds, they'd have these long tube, like mesh sort of tunnels, and they put a possum in there, and the dogs would chase this possum or whatever and catch it and rip it to shreds, and it would send it mental so that when they were in a race situation, they saw the bunny roll around, they'd just go mental and run even harder. And then they did this investigation, it shut the dogs down. And then you heard stories from way back in the day, if like a dodgy owner didn't want their dog to win, they'd feed it like 2 meat pies before it jumped. And then it'd, have a heavy guts or whatever and slow it down. And then I heard another story of a mate who was involved back in the 80s with some greyhounds in Darwin. And his job was when he loaded the dog into the kennel, the barriers, he had a little bit of Vicks on the end of his finger. And then just as he put it in, he went, and then off it went. And so, there was heaps of dodgy shit going on. But, the meth one, there was a dog that they showed. I don't know if it was the same dog, but it jumped the fence and cut the field. And then, won by about 4 lengths. But I don't know if that was the meth dog. But, when that come out, I think everyone's like, what are we doing? It was like that episode of The Simpsons, when Santa's little helper climbs up on top and the announcer goes, that is it. That is the end of dog racing.
So is that why they banned it for humanity? Or is that called humanity?
Humanitarian reasons.
No, it's not humanitarian if we're talking about dogs.
Yeah, no, it can't be. What's humanity?
What's the word for animals then?
I don't know. Humanity is humans, no?
Veterinary reasons?
No, animal rights. Animal welfare.
Yeah.
But also the return, the ROI, the return of investment on that gram of meth. I mean, what do you pay for a gram of meth in New Zealand?
Yeah, it's not cheap, I don't think. It's like the house market. It's real expensive.
So I imagine, yeah, good. I hope that wielded some results for the for the drug syndicate on that one.
We were talking about this yesterday, a few of us. The Flying Mullet actually brought the same article up about the methed up dog. And we were talking about, do you reckon he was like, why would you give your dog meth? Okay, is it for performance? It must be. But like George says, it's also super expensive from what I understand. So is he testing is he a meth producer who's testing his product on a dog? Like what they used to do in the mafia? They used to test cocaine on their dogs, their bulldogs.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I see what you mean. See, like, do they get the right batch? Well, I guess it's pretty well known. I mean, you think it like remember Tommy Simpson? He died, and when did he die? 65 on
Vonto.
Yep.
He basically had, I mean, the equivalent of meth. I mean, it was speed, wasn't it?
Yeah, amphetamines. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously would work. I mean, I've never tried meth, but I mean,
no, neither have I. But from what I understand, if you take meth, you stay awake for a week.
Okay.
Almost not worth the hassle giving your dog that, because you got to look.
A lot of
especially greyhound. Greyhounds typically sleep like 23 hours a day. I think they're like the most sleeping dog in the world. I'm pretty sure they sleep literally like 23 hours a day.
And so this was in New Zealand. I thought it was in Australia. It was in NZ.
I don't know.
Bloody Kiwis. But back to, we didn't resolve what happened with the Super League. Is that finished now? Did that all get overturned because of revolt from the fans?
Yeah, effectively. The club's pulled out, most of them anyway. But I don't know. It's created a lot of tension.
Because each club was going to get guaranteed a couple of $1 billion, weren't they? And they couldn't get relegated.
They couldn't get relegated, no. So the founding clubs, and then there was, which was Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham. They and then I think there was 2 wild cards or something, or 5 wild cards. They could never get relegated from their own league, but it was obviously like, I mean, there's already the Champions League, and the good thing about the Champions League is that you earn your spot in there, and any club can make it. Any club,
yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're one of the big 4 or 5 clubs of the English Premier League. If you're not in the top 4, you don't go Champions League. It gives the opportunity of like Leicester City, or potentially this next year could be West Ham. They're in line for a Champions League spot. That's the whole cool thing about the Champions League.
You know what it did? It gave a huge opportunity for rival clubs and corporates to pounce on this colossal fuck up. So when you saw they played, Liverpool played Leeds, and did you see that tweet that Leeds put out? They said, we drew 1-1 with the Super League Merseyville Reds today. Great result. And then everyone's like jumping in and laying the boots, going, this is classic. And then Heineken did a tweet and said, don't drink and start a league, like drink responsibly or whatever. It's all for the fans, and people are like pouncing on that. So with any of those crises, that's when the old social media, the games that get played is fucking gold.
It's unreal how the managers and the players didn't know either. Like they found out at the same time. Well, that's the story we've all been led to believe, which I think is true. But the players and the managers, they only found out at the same time as we found out.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. How do you keep something like that? Like, I mean, I know that it was leaked or spoken about in January or something, but then it kind of died away. But still, how do you keep that so
under
quiet?
wraps?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fans that have gone, I'm done. I'm done with the club. Even if they've said they're going to stay in the league and they're going to do it. A lot of like Man United supporters said, fuck it. I'm out. I'm not following you anymore. They'll come back.
There's an awesome interview from, I think it's from Roy Keane, that I saw talking about Man United. Obviously, he's his own club, and they're not happy. They're not happy, but it's done. I don't think it's going to happen. And now all the fans, I know in Arsenal especially, the fans are basically they played the other night, and there's no fans in the stadium, but there was about 20,000 of them outside the stadium protesting and lighting fires and trying to get these guys to sell the club, to hand the club over. And then I saw a tweet from the CEO of Spotify. He tweeted and said that if Arsenal's for sale, he's interested in buying it. And apparently he's worth $4.5 billion and Arsenal's worth $3 billion. So there's not a lot of money left over. But hey, it's not us. It's not up to us to judge his financial decisions, is it, guys?
Oh mate, if I was that rich, I wouldn't fucking buy a club. I'd be like, if you love the club, I'd just spend $1 million on like a good corporate package or whatever. But I couldn't think fucking anything worse. Being like the guy, yeah. Because like, imagine if you're tipping all your money into it and you get your ass handed to you after one game or whatever, and then people go, it's the fucking Jagger. Well, no, hang on, mate. You put your bloody coin in your pocket. I'm the one fucking wearing this.
Well, owning a sports club is just a bit of a dick swinging contest, isn't it, amongst the rich?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess the those ones like football clubs are probably a good example. NFL clubs probably another good example. It is an investment. They make money.
Yeah,
they make money. Whereas a lot of like cycling for sure, you don't make much money from owning a cycling.
Imagine that in cycling though, if you had to if you took a young rider, right, and then you sell and trade them so that you just have. Do you know who would be? I guess someone kind of does. Savia. He actually does that. He just goes into Colombia, finds the next Bernal, brings them over, puts them on a 5-year contract, and then says, "All right, you want to get him? Buy him out of his contract." He's the only guy that's doing that.
That's smart.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of swaps, isn't there, along the way? Like David Dela Cruz and
DSM also
Viviani and David Dela Cruz swapped. Remember? Quick Step and Sky.
Did they?
They did this. I don't know if that's public knowledge for us now. No, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a legit. Wasn't it a swap? Mid-season swap. Because one of those guys swapped teams mid-season at the same time. So it's my.
It was good to see.
Decision I'm making.
It was good to see Cav back. Is he? When I saw it and I saw him getting the victories, I was looking at the fields and that though. I was going, is he back or is it Tour of Turkey and not a quality sprint field?
Maybe some fast guys. Philipson's pretty fast.
Yeah, I think he's pretty quick, eh?
Yeah,
I think he's. Yeah, he. I also saw some numbers that he was doing like higher peak powers and shit like that now. So I think like Turkey's one of those races where it doesn't look super hard because it's all on a big road and wide and it's not a huge pello. But then you go into the final and they just go absolutely ape shit. It's probably super hard to win a sprint there.
But I see your point, Jonesy. Okay, yeah, you can argue that the top line of sprinters weren't there, Sam Bennett, Caleb Ewan, those guys. But the fact that like Philipson's, he's not like a number one ranked sprinter, but he's fast. And but the fact that Cav won 4 of them sort of shows how good he's going. Because the field wasn't top level, but no bike race is easy to win these days. And for him to win 4 of them shows that he was considerably better than whoever was there, which means he was probably ready to.
Imagine what did he bring up his 150th win?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Imagine winning 150 times.
Imagine winning once.
Yeah.
Imagine winning.
You'll get your chance, mate. What's your schedule like? So Bennett's going to the Giro. What are you doing?
I go to Romandy today, actually. So I had some issues with my wrist still after Coppa Bartoli or during Coppa Bartoli, and had to do more scans and things, and everything looks okay, but I'm still giving me grief. It's just a tricky injury and a complicated joint, and it's going to take time to. Well, the doctor told me, he said, the pain could stay for 3 to 6 months or maybe forever. And I was like, it's not really what I want to hear, man. I hope not. But anyway, I'm going to race again because we got the all clear from the scans. Team doctors are happy, so I'm going to Tour of Romandy today. It starts on Tuesday. I've got a flight in about 4 hours. I haven't packed a single thing in my suitcase yet.
I've got some bad news for you, mate.
Well,
I've just Googled the weather for Le Chaux de France, which is a town in Romandy.
Good water there, though. Great water.
You're in for a real shitter of a week.
No, but it's warm. It's warm.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah.
What is it?
I mean, you're topping out at 9 degrees on Thursday with snow. So
that's warm. That's what I mean. It's warm.
Mental toughness. This is where it really kicks in.
Oh, this is where you should have been saving your bullets.
It's 14. Show that again.
Yeah, it's 14 today.
No, that's grim.
No, that's all right. I don't mind that.
Yeah, but what you need to bring up is what it actually feels like. How does that work too?
Yeah,
Isn't the weather? That shits me off when you see like 23 it goes, but feels like 16. It's like, well, hang on, is it fucking 16 or 23? Like, that's what I want to know. What the fuck does it feel like? I don't care about.
Why do they never go the other way where it says 23 but feels like 50? Like they never do that. It's always the opposite. But if you go outside in the winter and it's like an ambient temperature of 12, but you're sitting in the sun, it feels more than 12, not less.
Yeah. What is the point? Shouldn't the weather be what it feels like is what it is?
Andorra does have a strange phenomenon where it feels pretty okay and it's like 3 degrees and it feels like a good 12 because of the dryness and Girona has the inverse. You go down to, you wait for like a humid day, you get 3 degrees in Girona versus 3 degrees in Andorra, and the temperature dials are relevant. One of them's fucking cold and one of them's survivable.
And do you know what that's an example of what makes me annoyed with a lot of people these days. You know, I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to weather. If I put my hand out the window and my hand doesn't get wet and it's not raining, but like people, you know, like constantly judge what they're going to wear, especially bike riders. Like, oh, what are you going to wear? And they pull their phone out and they go, oh, it's 8 degrees. Well, just go outside and see what it feels like. Because
you know what annoys me even more is the general Catalan population. They just dress to a calendar. So they don't care. They don't even look at the phone, the weather, nothing. They'll have their blinds closed and they'll get dressed. They'll look at the calendar and they go, oh, it's still April, or it's puffer jacket and jeans still. And then it will turn to May and they go, oh, May. Oh, that's a polo. And then July's a singy. And then it goes, you know, and it doesn't matter what the day is. They just go on calendar. They just go on days of the year.
When you go training, George, how do you dress? Like, okay, obviously there's specific times of the year where you just wear the same thing every day. For example, when you're in Andorra in March, even though it's a nice day, blue sky, it's cold. You put gloves on for a descent, jacket on for a descent. You get to the bottom and take it off, go uphill. Here in the summer, in July, you don't need to go outside to feel the weather. You know, it's 40 degrees, feels like 80. You know that. So you don't have to wear anything other than shorts and t-shirt. But typically, do you go outside in those like what would you call them? Intermediate seasons, like the little, you know, when you're on the cusp of different seasons. Would you go outside and stand on your terrace to test what you wear, or would you?
Yeah, I go as little as possible. Just, you know, mental toughness.
Yeah. And you've also got to run like Andorra's tricky because you often do need to, like I was up there in early March where it was, you know, I was rolling out of home. It was blue sky and dry, but it was an ambient temperature of like -6 or -8 or something. So it's cold. So you need to wear like a fair bit for the descent. But you know that where you're going, you're heading down, descending back into Spain or something. Down there, it's, you know, it's 10 degrees or 12 degrees. So you've got to like wear the right kind of clothes that you can either, the jacket's small enough to fold up and put in the back pocket, or you got to commit to the stash, which is what I often do. Descend down, find a bush and just stash.
Yeah.
Stash gloves, stash jacket. But then you still got to get it home. And getting home to our house in Andorra is a 30K climb. So you're not wearing it.
Do you think people are listening and going, fuck me, like they're talking about weather and how to dress and cycling?
No, people enjoy.
I'm interested. I don't.
People enjoy.
I'm going. Oh yeah.
You just always have to. You just always bring in a negative undertone. Like people might be interested in this. Fuck if I know who, but there might be someone.
Well, okay, then everyone knows that guy you would in New Zealand and in Australia who's maybe mid-60s and will only wear shorts.
Mate,
my dad. I've never seen my dad wear pants. My dad wears jeans when he goes to the club to play 8-ball and have a couple of pints, but otherwise shorts.
Yeah,
doing
shorts.
8-ball.
Or like, to play 8-ball, to play
and train greyhounds.
I was going to say, go put jeans on doing 8-ball. Okay. Sure,
but I remember we had one of Dad's mates, Woodsy. He would always wear shorts. And I remember he'd be like the maintenance guy for one period at my high school. And I remember one day it was fucking freezing. It was like, 2 or 3 and shivering. And he's out there like screwing stuff in. He's got like the King G's on. And I said to him, Woodsy, like, what are you doing, man? Aren't you cold? He's like, nah, don't feel
it. It becomes their personality. So they know, like, one day they're like, I want to put fucking pants on. But I've got this rep as being the guy that wears shorts.
Yeah.
But do you get cold legs, though? I don't often
complain
of cold legs.
You get a nice breeze through that little gap in your King G's. It's gonna bloody freeze your plums, mate.
Yeah,
That
but I'm
is-
talking
that's not
about
fun.
legs. I said, do you get cold legs? I didn't ask if you get cold nuts. That's a different story.
Yeah, but I suppose you would. Yeah, a bit of knee shiver.
Don't the nuts retreat anyway if it's cold enough?
Yeah. Anyway, who's the legend or Bellin?
I don't know. Why don't we do Legend of Bellin? People who dress to the iPhone app.
Bit of feedback. Bit of feedback on the
people that wear shorts in winter.
Yeah, but there's a bit of feedback I saw. People like they get passionate about anyone that openly admits they like boy bands or girly music or whatever. But this is like the proud man that wears shorts. A lot of proud guys that listen to the harder stuff, rock and roll, Metallica and whatever. But I mean, you just got to own it. Backstreet Boys, they're good. They're fine. There's no problem with that.
How was that? How was Backstreet Boys?
The concert. No, it's next year.
Oh, next year.
Yeah, it was April next year.
I know it's been a while between shows, but no, but I agree. I think there's a time and a place for everything. Like I'm not.
Sounds like you are.
A fan of the. I'm not a fan of the Backstreet Boys to the point I'm.
Sounds like you are. Whatever you're about to say, you're not.
Sound like a hypocrite.
Yeah.
No, but the time and place of Backstreet Boys. Like if you're partying and like you're having a fun night or whatever, and then all of a sudden someone chucks on, I want it that way. It's fun. Everyone gets behind it, has a sing.
It's better than putting on Thrasher or something, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
No, exactly. Are we doing people that wear shorts in winter?
Why don't we just do the weather as Legion of Bellin? The weather.
Well,
how do you judge that?
Well, it'd be no brainer. People that wear shorts 24/7 are legends because it comes back to what you're saying, George. It's mental toughness. They make a call.
I'm say Bellians because they've invested too heavily in their sort of identity, and
but that's not necessarily true.
I back themselves into the corner in a big way.
Defend your dad. Defend your dad.
Yeah. This also happened to me when you guys had a crack at me for wearing jandals when it's cold outside. Now, George said to me that it's my personality, or like I'm trying to defend my personality, or whatever you just said. Like I'm trying to make a show, like I can't go back now and put shoes on after, everyone's blah blah blah. That's not the truth. I'll happily put shoes on if it's fucking raining outside and it doesn't make any logistical sense to wear jandals. But ultimately, I wear jandals because I always have, and I just like them. I just don't like.
But I feel like jandals and shorts, there's a difference. The shorts guy, the maintenance guy in the middle of winter, plugging away in shorts, and he's going, "Fuck, my legs are cold," and he's just going. The boys that smoke off, they'll know if I come in tomorrow with pants on.
I've conceded.
Yeah, they should give him. They should give him the job in the deep freeze, like if he was like the maintenance man at a supermarket or something, or like a liquor store. You say, "Oh, mate, the freezer." Big freezer's broken or something, and send him in there to do the job till eventually he caves and wears pants.
Yeah, no, I reckon legend all the way. If you can commit to that.
You're not a big pants. You're not a big pants wearer, are you, Jonesy?
Not really. No, I had like those go-to footy shorts, that I just love wearing and slothing around the house. But there's no pockets in them. Like even when you got your sloth COVID pants. You still need pockets, because there's always going to be random things that you just want to drop in there,
Pockets are handy.
Like a phone or,
I've actually got a set of those footy shorts you gave me, the Hawks ones.
Yeah, they're good.
Any update on the robbery?
No, I got a letter. They said, there's a letter from the police. And I'm thinking, here we go. We've got some leads. And it was like junk mail. It was like a letter that basically said, we've put Senior Sergeant, Jack Kingsley on the case. I'm thinking, here we go. What else have they got? And they're going, look, as you know, not all property gets recovered. So we will try our best. It's like, well, hang on, I know that. What else have you got? And it was like copy and paste, It
wasn't a recruiting.
Nah, and then it gave me a pamphlet that said, ways that you can prevent things being stolen. Lock the house. Yeah, fuck no shit. When you have your car parked
Send
in
that
the
to
garage.
Send this letter to Emu, not me.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
That would actually be a good propaganda, George, the recruitment thing. Like whenever someone gets robbed, you send them a letter and go, have you been robbed recently?
Yeah.
Join the police force.
Oh, mate.
Has your house burnt down recently? Join the firefighters.
Yeah. So no leads, no property back, nothing. But I don't give a shit. The jerseys are gone. So,
but Liege just on Liege today. And other news.
Oh yeah, actually, since the last episode we did before Tour of Flanders, that was the last episode we did, and I picked the winner, Askren, and we got a number of comments. So let's see if I can do it again. Who are we picking?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, we have to go 5-star favourite and an outsider.
Okay.
Well, I'm going with Michael Matthews because there's an article on Cycling News from Matt White. A win for Michael Matthews could just be round the corner. Geez, if that's not an omen, if Whitey says you're just about to break through, that's it. Go bling.
And
it's a good race, though.
Your outsider?
Geez, I don't know enough about the sport, mate, to be honest. I don't know anything about the names and that, so I'll just stick
going Rogler for the win with the outsider of... Oh, I'm just looking on Pro Cycling Stats to see who is there, and I saw
I don't know.
Sirius Monk just got second in Banja Luka Belgrade. Guest on the show.
Who's the roughie?
That was quite funny.
Yeah.
Mate, he was going good at Down Under in that this year.
Was he?
Yeah, he was fine.
I see he's still doing his music videos.
Oh, good.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who's your roughie?
Outsider for me. Oh, I know my outsider, actually. Is Jonas Vingegaard. He's also... Oh, no, I know my outsider, of course. It's Van Sevenant.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen a guy that rides like he's been shot, Jonesy?
He's strong, that guy.
Who is it?
Like this? Mate,
yeah, awesome.
This guy is so strong.
Yeah. Who's he ride for?
My outsider.
Quick step.
Yeah.
Who's actually racing? Well, I'm going to go Alaphilippe.
You talked it up. Okay.
I'm going to go Alaphilippe as my main guy. Oh, yeah, Cyrus Monk. Yeah, good job. Short stage, that one.
I saw that.
How do you find start lists?
Oh,
there you go. Popular. Darwin Atapuma. I don't think he's racing. He's obviously racing elsewhere. He won in Volta Colombia. Wonder how Esteban's brother's doing in Volta Colombia. There's a lot of Colombians racing Tour of Colombia. Top 16 all Colombians. Then Oscar Sevilla in there, 17th Spanish. And then it goes
How
Colombian.
old is he now? How old is Oscar Sevilla?
44. I think he's 44. 44, born in 1976. He still goes good, eh?
Oh, well, Cycling News have listed the top 5 riders. Michael Woods, he's going good.
Oh, yeah. He'll be my outsider, Woodsy.
Well, no. I said that first. That's mine.
Okay, you can have him.
I call it. Yep, Woodsy.
I'll go with... So I'm going to read the same article. Pidcock's not racing now, is he? Pidcock pulled out.
Yep.
Thibaut Pinot's heartbroken that he's ruled out of the Giro. George probably feels differently about that, I suppose.
Max Schuckerman.
Oh, he'd be good.
Oh, yeah.
You want that one? You can have that one. You can have that one. I'm just stealing from bloody Cycling News, so I'm not doing any work.
I reckon.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. We're really tapering off here.
I'm enjoying this. I want to drag it out as long as we can. We're only at 49 minutes. Still got 11 minutes to make it the hour.
No.
No. We're in that George Bennett danger zone. That's 40 to 50 minutes where his brain goes.
Yeah, something got.
Oh, boys, I gotta go.
I love how George he's like, yeah, guys, got an easy day on Sunday, so we can do the show. And then like I sent a message yesterday saying like what time, and then George just doesn't reply. I can see you've read the message as well in groups. I'm like, George has read it. I'm like,
He caught me at an inappropriate time.
I'm going to follow this up because it was going to slip through the cracks otherwise. So I follow it up, and then he comes up with the time, 9:45. Beautiful, no worries. And then, or 8:45 where he is. And then at like last minute, he just sends, can we go 15 minutes earlier? Because I just realised breakfast closes at 10. Mate, you've been in the island for 2 weeks. You must have known that breakfast closes.
I don't know. I didn't even do breakfast at 10 because normally I get up and go to breakfast.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You need shirts that just say "suck my double blue tick."
That's quite good, eh?
It is. Well, you're part of the merch.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, boys.
All the best.
So
Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe. See you guys.
We'll have to do one just before the Giro and do a bit of a Giro preview and get the vibe.
Talk about the weather, the Giro.
You'll get one of is Roglic doing it or Wout van Aert?
me.
You got any big names? Or are you leading the Giro?
Yeah, I'm the biggest name they could come up with.
Are you really leading the Giro?
Yeah.
Oh shit! This could be a bloody good app. We'll have to do one live every day. See how the leader check in the leader.
Why don't we cut the last 50 minutes and start again and just do an episode now about George going to the Giro as a leader? You guys up for that? Let's do it.
No.
Okay. I got to pack anyway. I got to pack a suitcase. I got to go to Romney.
All right.
But it's like a rain jacket by the sounds.
Yeah. Enjoy. Speak
Lucky
soon,
bags.
boys.
All right.
Great stuff. Bye.